Hi, I am Ponraj, and today in my second video we are going to see about file types of Microsoft Excel 2016. So let's start. Okay, now we will open this Excel workbook from here. Like I have already pinned this Excel workbook in my taskbar. So I'm clicking on it. Now you can say okay, so today we are going to see about the file tab. So I'm clicking on file. Here you can see lots of buttons like home, new, open, info, save, like that. So we will see one by one. Okay, in home section you will see lots of these templates as well as this new section. From this section you can easily open this workbook. Like if you want to work on any new workbook, you can click on here, so this will be open. And after that you will see this recent and pin. In the recent section you can see all the recent file that I have worked on that, or maybe I have opened any Excel file that I can see here. And in pin is you can pin any Excel file over here so that you can open that file in single click. For example, if I want to pin this file, like read file, if I want to pin this file, I just right click it, pin to list. I can see here that file is already pinned here. Okay, this means whenever I need to open this file, I can just give a single click over here, I can open that file. So the main use of this pin section is like you can store your frequently used Excel file over here, and whenever you need it you can easily open by single click. So that is the main reason this pin section is been used for. And if you want to remove from this section, just right click it, unpin from list. That's it, it will be unpinned from here. And if you want to add any more extra file from any other location, just click here, more workbooks, and then just go which location you have that file. Like if I go in folder view, like I can see here in my desktop, I have these files. Like suppose if I want to add this file in that pin section, just right click on there, which file you needed, just right click on that file and pin to recent list. Okay, now we will check here in home section. I'm now seeing, yes, this file is already just now I pinned over here. Okay, like this you can pin many files, and if you want to remove it, you can just right click on that and unpin from list, so it will be removed from there. Okay, so now the next section is new section, and this is also the same like blank workbook. So we'll open a new workbook over here, and some of the templates, if you want to add some data on that template, so you can use that. And we'll move on to next section, like open section. Open means that you have already saved a file in your computer. If you have already saved any file in your computer, you can open from here, like any location. Like if recent means any recent location that you have been used in that location, or maybe OneDrive. OneDrive is a cloud based application. Like as you all know, your data you can store in this cloud section, and whenever you want it you can use it from cloud. So you needed some authentication like username, password to access file from your cloud. So this is cloud based thing, so that we are not going to cover here. So we'll move on to next section, like PC in your computer, which any location if you have saved your file, you can open from there. Like if I click on this arrow to navigate into some other location where our file is there, so from here I can go like any location, desktop. If I have any file over here, if I have to open, I can click over here and that file will be open. Okay, so like that you can use this open section. Like add, this is also cloud. If you want, you can save some files in your cloud area, and from that area you can open that file. For that purpose we are using this thing, but this is also cloud based thing, so we are not going to do anything on this. And this is the browse. Like sometimes our files may have stored in your network places, like any network area. If our file is stored over there, you can browse from here, like any location wherever our file is saved, we can browse to that location and select on that file and just click here open. Then your file will be open from any location. Okay, so now we will move on to next section, like info section. This is one of the most important part in our Microsoft Excel 2016 videos, because whenever if you have any confidential data in your Excel workbook, you have to protect that workbook. So to protect that workbook, we have to use passwords or some many other security measures to save all our data. Okay, so here we have protect workbook. You can see like here some options are given here, so we will see one by one. First we will see always open read only. If we click on this button, just check here, it's changed to yellow, that means some function is being used here. So protect workbook function. So first we have used always open read only. So if we are writing some text over here, we will check how it will open in read only. Like I am adding some text first. Okay, hello, I have added this. So after writing anything, we have to save this document. You can either save from file or you can either save from here. If you close directly without saving this file, it will ask you to save this file. So I'm going to save this file. It's asking location. I'm giving it to desktop. Okay, desktop, and make it as we are doing read only operation. So I'm typing it here read only. Okay, so that we can easily understand what is the purpose of this file and why we have created. Okay, so now I am clicking on save option. So here my file will come. Okay, this is my file read only. So now I am trying to open this file. You see, I have selected their option that this file will be for read only. Now it is asking me that this file is for read only. Would you like to open as read only or not? So I am saying yes, I would like to open it as read only. So I can make any changes, but that changes will not be saved in this file. For example, if I am writing an extra text like hi, okay, so if I want to save this file, so if I'm now saving, it will say you cannot save this file. It will ask us to save as, like, save a copy of this file, but the original file will be there like that. For example, if I'm closing from here, it will ask for save changes. I'll say yes. Look, it says copy of read only. So that original file will not be get changed. That will be in read only mode only. So we have to, if you want to save a copy of this file, you can make any name and you can save over there. So I'm just saving as copy of read only. So you will have two files over there. One is read only, which will be your original file, and the second one is now I'm saving this copy of read only. So we will have two files over there. You can see here, see, read only. So if I open this file, I can see, like, if it's again asking read only, I say yes, but that thing that I have added over here, it's already reflected. And if I open my previous file read only, so I will only have, it's ask for read only, I say yes, it says only hello. Okay, so if you want to save that file, it will be saved, but with your additional data that you have added, it will save along with that file as a separate file. It will save as a separate file. Okay, so if you say no, I want to save on this file only, I don't want to make it separate. So when you open this file, at that time it's asking, like, you want to open as read only, just make it as no, I don't want to make it as read only. So I am just writing something over read only, something I just write over here. If I am saving this file, it will ask me, do you want to save as? I say yes, this will be saved over here. Okay, so if I open over here, so this is the main important part, like when it's asking you, like, open as read only, yes or no. Open as, so if you say yes, it will go as read only and save a copy of that file if you want to save anything. But if you say no, you can directly save on this file. So you may ask like why this option is needed. If like it's saving copy of the file, we can all why we are using this only one window is deciding whether we are going to save or we are going to edit something, because sometimes someone by mistakenly may open this file and they may write something over here and they don't know like what are the changes they have done. So for that purpose mostly we are using this option. Okay, so if you want to remove that function that we have now used, like this file will be in read only, and if you want to remove that access, just click here again, open it, just make it as open as read only, make it as no. Okay, this is not read only, so go to file tab and go to info and open this protect workbook and just click on there again, like how we have activated this. Just click on over here, it will automatically deactivate. You see that yellow mark is just left. So this is the read only settings. Like if you want to put read only setting in your Excel file, you can put like this. The next thing is encrypt with password. As you know, like if you want to put password to your Excel file, you can put any password with this option, like encrypt with password. If I click over there and I'm putting password 123, okay, it will ask re-enter. Again we have to enter this password 123 and then okay. You see now it's changed to yellow, like some function we have given to this file. And if now we will close it, you can save from file also, but I am always preferring this one for me. Click this close button, it will ask you save your changes to read only this file. I will say yes, save. Okay, so this is my file. If I open this file, it should ask password. Okay, you can see here it's asking password 123. Okay, so now I can easily able to access this file. Okay, so this is a very important thing that you know, like how to set password, because some confidential files are there. We can keep it safe by using this password technique. Okay, so if you want to remove that password, go to info, click on the same option, encrypt with password. It will ask show one window. Just remove this password, make it blank and click OK. Now you see that yellow function is just left. So like this you can put password to any Excel file. Now you may have doubt, like if you want to just protect some of the sheet, like not whole file, like not whole workbook, if you want to only give protection to particular sheet, then you can give it by using this option, protect current sheet. Okay, so I'm clicking here, like it asks you like what are the things that should be used or visible like to other user, like if any user is over this sheet 1, so what he can do, what he is allowed to do. Allow all user of this workbook to select locked cells. That means if this cell is if this sheet is locked, then also user will be able to select the files like that and select unlock cell. Like this you can set up from here, like whatever you need from this. And this asking again password, so we will put 123 to lock this sheet. Okay, re-enter again, enter, we have to enter password 123. Okay, so now this sheet 1 is protected. So if I write something, you see this is asking me like this, Saraj, are you trying to protect it? To make a change and protect the sheet, you might be requested to enter a password. So it's saying this is protected simply. Okay, but if you have multiple sheet over here, like sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4, you can do anything over here because this is not protected. Okay, so you can do anything over here, but if you come to this sheet like sheet 1, so it will ask password. So like this password you can assign to a particular sheet. Okay, and if you want to remove that password, just go here, you will see here unprotect. Okay, if you click this unprotect, this will ask you to re-enter the password that we have previously assigned, like 123. So I put 123. Okay, now that function is already left from here. Okay, so this is to assign password to the sheet. So the next option is protect workbook structure. Okay, through this you can protect your workbook structure, like adding, removing, renaming something, any sheet. If you want to do anything, you can use this one to protecting it. So I'm clicking it. It will ask for password 123. I am giving the password same as this password 123. Okay, so now if I want to like delete this sheet, rename, move or copy, I cannot do anything because this whole things is now disabled, so I cannot do anything over here. So if I want to, like, what is the main use of this disabling these things, means whenever if you are prepared one Excel sheet and you are sending it to someone that who cannot do anything, like hiding any cells or hiding any sheet, removing sheet, any thing, like you can say moving it, create a copy of that. If you disable this function in this like I have done now, so no one will be able to add anything over here. So for that we are using this option. So they can only write on something on this, on the current sheet, and they cannot make it any extra sheet adding or any removing, like that stuff. Okay, so this is the purpose of this. And if you want to remove that thing, just click on there. It will ask for password, write 123. That's it, it's been removed now. If I close and save this file, okay, and then if I again open this file, I can see now that function will not be applicable here. You see, now all your options have been visible. As you may know, like delete means this will delete this whole sheet. Okay, I'm deleting this, permanently delete. Okay, delete. And renaming means this will rename your sheet, or whatever you can write, like if I have data or something like that. Move or copy means you can easily move this file to somewhere or copy this file to some other place, like that. Protect sheet is for like password stuff that we are seeing here. Hide, if you want to hide this sheet, you can hide, like that. Okay, so this is a purpose, like we are using that info protect workbook things. And remaining other things like restrict access is like server based things, like you can see connect to like management server and get templates. This is not belongs to our this basic MS Office thing, so we will leave this stuff restrict access. And also digital signature, you can add digital signature, that also not applicable to us for now, so we will skip that one also. And the last one is like mark as final. Okay, if you click over here, this will say like this will be marked and then save. Why we are using this option? You know, whenever you complete any work on your Excel file and you would like to let other know like this file is already final, like you have done all the stuffs and it's final, so please don't make any changes. For that warning message we can use this option. So now I will show you. If I click OK, you can see here, like you see marked as final, and author may mark this workbook as final to discard. So author is already informing, like a user is informing like this file is final, so please don't do any changes. So if I am the author, if I have made this file, like means I can do like okay, edit anyway, so I can change whatever I need it. Okay, so like that I can change. So I have added something over here, and if I close this file, I read only this file. Okay, I have saved it. Now again I am opening this file, you can see that it's already over there, and no error message, because I have clicked on there like edit anyway. So that means I have created that file, so I am the owner, so I am using it. That will just give an information to any other user like this file is already been prepared and it's final, please don't do any changes. Like it will just give him one message, warning message. Okay, so this is a thing of mark as final. So now we will move on to inspect workbook, and now this inspect document will inspect all the documents. If you have any things in your sheet, like if you want to check, someone may have hide any cells, columns, or maybe any rows like headers, if there may be some headers or footers, whatever, if anything is added on this file, this is helpful to inspect the document. For example, if I can say like if I would like to add any header and footer, if I add any header and footer, it will mark here like you have header and footer over here, like that. Okay, so this is used for that purpose, inspector. So I will show you like it's checked and showing some like some author, because we have created this file, so some information is showing. So if you want to add something, like I will show you, like if I want to add some header and footer over here, I'm adding header over here. Okay, so I have added header over here, and I would like to check that one. So I will see now I have added header over here, and now we will inspect this document. Okay, so inspect this document. Before you use document, make sure you are changing. Okay, yes. Okay, so now it will inspect. It should show like this file has header, so we will inspect this. Okay, this is okay. Author is showing some information about our Excel file. You see here headers and footers are there, it's showing the following items are found. Okay, like that, if you can do this inspection to any Excel file, and it will show you like what are the things present in that file, and if you want to remove, you can click here so that it will be removed. Okay, so this is the inspect workbook. In that inspect document work is there, and now we will move on to next one, check accessibility. This is for disabled person who are not like mentally they may be disturbed, or they may not understand what is this. So to make them easy, we need to give all sheet proper name, like what is this and what is that. Like you can see here, it shows warning like after doing inspection showing sheet 1 and sheet 4 you have not named it properly, so that any disabled person will not able to easily understand this, because they are mostly unfit, so they may be some disturbed with some mental issues like that. So we have to give proper name over here. So you see the data in that sheet I have written like data, so here it's not showing warning, like because he can understand in data sheet there will be some data like that. So we should name properly in all sheets. So this is important for when you send any file to any disabled person, so you have to make sure with all these things. And check compatibility, as you know, like compatibility like older version of Excel, which function, which file, which things will be worked in this new version, and some formulas or some macros or some drawings or something will not be compatible with Excel 2000 older version, like 2000 2003 version. That message will be displayed here. If you check the compatibility with your whole file with all data, so it will say like this thing will not be applicable to earlier version, like 2000 version, 2003 version, like that. For that we are using this compatibility checker. Okay, so this is what the inspect workbook is about. Now we will go about manage workbook. This is used for to recover your Excel file when you are working in like when you are working, suddenly power gets shut down, or maybe your laptop get crashed, or maybe your laptop just restarted with your current Excel workbook while you are working. So that time this will recover your Excel file. So about this subject we are going to learn more in detail in our next video, when we will create a new video for option. So that time we will see the recovering in more details. Okay, so for now I will show you like which location you can find your unsaved file. You see, this is the location where your unsaved file will be there when suddenly any power cut or something happens. Okay, so if you find your file over here, just click on that and click open it, so that file will be open. Okay, so this is what manage workbook is all about. And browser view option is, we are using this option for connecting with other application from Microsoft. Have some applications like SharePoint or some other application through we can share our current sheet with that software's application. So for that we are using this browser view option. So currently we have no data about that, so in future maybe we will create this browse view options, how we are going to use and access via other platform like SharePoint or something else. Okay, so now we will move on to save. You maybe you know, like until now I have done lots of save option, like saving document in my desktop. So you may know, whenever you open a blank workbook, you have to save that file. So okay, so I am now opening one blank workbook, and if I write something over here, hello, and then I have to, first time when I save my file, it will automatically move to save as. Did you see? Because when it open first time, you have no file name for that file, so basically it will be behave as a save as only. So I have to give some name, like I'm giving it as save copy. Okay, so I'm giving it as save copy. Now you see in title bar, you can see like this file name is changed to save copy. Okay, now if you want to save this file in one more place, then we can use this option save as. Okay, mostly when first time when you are saving any file, it will be work as save as only, but after one time if you save this file, now I'm closing this file. Okay, so save copy, this file I have saved, and now I am again doing something. Okay, like I have write something group over here. Now I just want this group to be saved or not on this original file. Like you need a copy of this file, original file. Like you can go for save as. Okay, like in desktop, save copy, save as. Okay, just something I will write like that so that it can be understandable. Save copy, save as. Now I'm doing save. Okay, this file, this group is now saved in this area, save copy save as file. Okay, not in this save copy file. If I open this file, it will say only hello, and save copy save as, if I open this, it will be updated with hello. Okay, so if you want to save a copy of file, you have to use save as. So you have to remember it. Like for save means any document that you do any changes, you have to save that file. Okay, and for save as, you have to already saved file, create a copy of that file. You can say like that. If you want to create a copy of already saved file, you can use that save as option. So there will be two files. Okay, if you use save as means it will save a copy of existing saved file. Okay, so this is the save and save as. And now we will move on to print section. This is also important section. So in this print section, you will see like first thing in the top side you will see copies, how many copies you want the print, like printing how many copies, 1 copy, 2 copy, 3 copy, like you can say how many sets you need. Like in printing, if you need 1 set means it by default it will be 1. If you want more means 3, 4, whatever you want you can make it here. Okay, and you click on print mean it will start printing, and then you have to select printer. Okay, which printer you are going to use. Like now I have HP laser color jet printer, so this printer I have over here. So you can give print from here by selecting proper printer which is working, like which source status ready. Okay, and in this printer, when you select printer, you will have one printer properties also. This printer properties we are using to print black and white or color, like that purpose we can use this printer properties. Black, and if you want to print black and white you can use this, or if you want to use color, you can by default it shows as color, you can use that. And you can also select paper size from here also, like what paper you are going to print, you can select from here, click OK, here also click OK, and it will get print, and after giving print on. But if you want to do some settings, like if you want to change some settings from default to something you want to give, you can use this. And for paper selection you can have option over here also. By default it shows letter, from there also you can select it as A4, like that. Okay, so we'll see one by one what is the settings. In settings you can see like print active sheet. Print active sheet means that current sheet what you have, that will be get printed. Okay, if you have multiple sheet like sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4, multiple sheets, and if you want to print particular sheet like sheet 3, just click on that, click on this print active sheet. You have to be there in that particular sheet. Like if I have 3, 4 sheet, and if I want to which sheet I have to print, I have to click here like sheet 3. This is my active sheet now, and I'll go here in print, I'll give print active sheet, so that sheet only will get print out. Okay, if I want to print out the whole file, like whole workbook, all sheet, it will get print out. Okay, and if I want to print only selection, okay, print selection means I'll show you. Like if I want to, this is hi, hello, if suppose these are the data that I have in my that current sheet, but I want to only print out this one, so I have to select only this area, I have to print only this. So now I'm selecting this by using my mouse, I'm just selecting it, I selected it. Now if I go over here in print selection, you see only hi, hello, I have selected that only showing. That means only this will be get printed, whatever I have selected. Okay, so the next section is you can see pages, from how many pages to how many. Like if you have 100 pages, you can say like 1 to 20 page I want to print out, 10 to 20 pages I want to print out, like that. Whatever how much pages you want to print out, you can set over here. The next section you will see like how your print, how it will be get printed, like one-sided, two-sided. Two-sided have two types. So for one-sided, as you know, only one side get printed and other side gets blank. Okay, so that's one-sided you can say. And for print on both sided means it will get printed on both side, and the front side as well as back side. For that both side you have two types, one is long edge, another is short edge. Long edge is normally our book printout, you can say both side you have printouts, both in each paper you have both side printouts, is called long edge. And short edge means, in the sense, you can consider an example of calendar, you can say, like in the other side it will be inverted printout, not the same layout print you will find. This will be get inverted type of things. So when you flip that paper you will not able to see the same setting, it will be in the form of invert type. So in calendar you can see like when we see calendar backside, it will be invert invert type of printouts it will be there. So that's the thing in this both side. Okay, so I hope you understand this one, printing on one side, two side. And now we will move on to collated and uncollated. There are two types. For collated, you can say like when your Excel workbook you are doing printouts, anything, like not only in Excel or Word or maybe anything, when you are going to print, you will be having 3 sets of printout. Like you have 2 pages of document and you have to take 3 sets, I mean 3 copies. If you see here 3 copies, so what it will do is, first page it will get print 3 times. For normal collated, it will be get first it will print 1 set, then 2nd set, then 3rd set. And when you select uncollated, that time what will it will do, first page it will be get print out 3 times, same page, and the second page it will be get print out 3 times. Then you have to arrange first page of this set and first page of that set, you have to arrange. So this may be useful when you are printing too much documents. That time uncollated is very useful actually, because you have to check all the papers you have properly received or properly you have all papers or not, because sometimes some papers may get missed when someone took from your printer when you are printing. That time it may be get difficult. Some people may get some missing paper, like they may not get any, like paper may get missed. So that's why uncollated is useful. Mostly by default all printer are printing in collated format. Okay, but if you want uncollated, you can use it uncollated, because they nowadays, as you know, when you go in shop, when you go 2 sets print out, 3 set print out, normally it comes proper order, like first set 1-2 paper, second set 1-2 paper, third set 1-2. So mostly default collated is preferred and used in most of the places. But uncollated, when you have to print out too much document, that time you can use this uncollated. And too much set, you can say like 10 set, 15 set, 100 set, 20 set, like that. If you want to arrange this much of sets, that time you can print it as uncollated. That I prefer, it will be helpful like that. Okay, that's my suggestion, but mostly it's in collated format. So portrait orientation, you see by default it's in portrait mode, and when you click on landscape orientation, it's changed to a little bit rectangle shape, if you notice it. Okay, like mostly if you see this one, it shows like this and it get tilted left side, like you can understand like how it is getting tilted. So if I give landscape, see this give a little bit more space on the right side. So this is the use of this portrait and landscape. When you are going to print something, some letter, document, you can accordingly arrange if you want it portrait or a landscape. So like that you can print. And this I told you, like for selecting of paper, which paper size you want to select to print out. And next thing is margins, like how you want to print, like how many margin, if you want to make it wide, narrow. By default it's normal. Okay, now if you see wide, it will get little bit wide here, over here. And if you get narrow, if you see here, you can see this place, it's very narrow over here. And if you can also click here to set up the margin of this, like show margin. See here, you can also use this drag option to how you need it. You can move like your page, how it should be aligned, you can use from here. Like wide, if you see, I selected here wide margin, it shows margin extra bit of space over here. Last custom means last time when you have set any settings for this margin, you can use that one. If I click over here, it will be by default changed to the last custom setting. Like that you can set up the margin how you want. Also you can set up from here also custom margin. you can properly assign how many this number you need, left side, right side. You can assign the proper value and you can set the margin. Okay, so this is the margin thing, and now we will move on to scaling. Like if you want to print, by default it has no scaling, normally it will be printed, but if you want to print whole document in one page, fits it on one page, so this will be get printed in one page. If you have a document, 2-3 pages of document, and you want that document to be printed on one page, so you can use this option. But you may get doubt like how it will be get printed in one page. So for that, what it gets shrink means its font size get automatically reduced and it will get print with the small font size. So if you say fits it on one page, that means your whole document will be compressed, like it will get small and fit into one page and it will get print out. But if you say fit all column on one page, only you want column of, you have columns, some 2-3 columns, extra columns beyond these pages, and you want to set like it should come on one page, means you can choose this option, fit all columns on one page. And same like for rows also, you can say like fit all rows on one page, like that. So like this you can align your pages, like how to print out. And you can also do any custom scaling, like how to change like fit to order, like here also you can change the settings from here also. Okay, and like here also given like the same page setup, the whole things you can change also from here also. Okay, and here you can see like printout option will be given, how many pages will be get printed. 1 of 1 means only 1 pages is there, so 1 page will be get printed. If you have 10 pages means 1 of 10 it will be shown like this, how many pages will be get printed. So this is print. So we will now move on to next section, like share with people. Mean this is also cloud based process, share with people, save to cloud. If you want to save this document in cloud, means you can use this option. And we will move on to next, email. So in email, if you want to send this file, current working Excel file, this file if you want to send as attachment, that means if you want to send email to someone as this file as attachment, you can click here, automatically you can see this file will be attached over here. Okay, so like this you can attach this file and you can write this address over here to whoever you want to send. You can send right address. This is nothing Microsoft Outlook 2016. Okay, so in our later videos we will see about this Microsoft Excel to the Microsoft Outlook 2016 application also we will see. So this is a purpose, like we can send any attachment, any file through email. Okay, and the next thing is you can say like send this Excel file as PDF, sent as email. To work you can do it single click, like this file will be get converted to PDF and it's also attached to an email. For example, if I click here send as PDF, it's already get converted to PDF and attached also in my email Outlook. Okay, so if I want to send anyone to this file, I can choose this option, because if I do this as PDF, means no one can do any editing or any changes. So that's why mostly we use this option to send Excel file as PDF. Okay, so like this you can send this file as PDF, and you can also send as XPS. XPS is also same like PDF only, they have no difference, but PDF you can say it's an Adobe company and XPS is from Microsoft. And PDF in is better, like you will have too much options, and it's a standard format in all over the globe. People are using in PDF attachment, PDF files. They have some more options for editing, for some adding some text, commands like that. So but we can also send this file as XPS also, like this. You can see if I open this file, XPS is also same like PDF only, but the functions will be less compared to Adobe PDF reader, like that. Okay, so this is the thing. So mostly people use this PDF format. So you have to understand, like PDF is a standard version nowadays. Many all over the globe they are using this. Next thing is like now send as internet fax. If you want to send any fax, you can use this option, but we no need to send now, so we are not using this, and I don't have fax machine too. So I don't need nowadays. I think no one is using this fax things. They are mostly using these emails and all. So most of them nowadays, these tools is not being used. Just like XPS also, this also nowadays no one is using this. So we'll move on to export, and this also you can see same, like creating this file as PDF or XPS. If you want to create this file as PDF or XPS, you can click on that option and you can save in desktop. If you want to save as PDF or XPS, click and click type the file name, whatever the file you need, like PDF file, whatever you want to type, you can type that name and make it publish. So you can have your file, your PDF file. Okay, so if you want to print this file as, if you want to export this file as XPS, you can do select here XPS. So now we will move on to next one, change file type. You can select file, which file you want to use. Like mostly, you know, earlier version, if you some of your colleague or some of your friend have older version of Microsoft Excel, you can save this file with this format, 97 Excel 97 2003 workbook, and you can save in this format, means he can open your current file. But if you are saving this file with your current format like XLSX, he may not be able to open this file. So like that you can select the which file type you need this file as, micro enabled, CSV, like that. Too much things are there here, you can select accordingly and save another. If you want more like any other format also, you can click here, save as another file type or save as. If you click, it will be have much more option to select other than this. Okay, now publish is like publish to Power BI. There is one application like business intelligence application is there from Microsoft. If you want to share your Excel this file with Power BI, if you have any data content like you have to attach with any other application, you can attach. So Power BI supports Excel files. So if you have any Excel files data, Power BI can accept it and can publish and can manage that data with some other work. So that also we are not having Power BI software or something how to use it, but in future if I get a chance, I will explain like how Power BI and Excel get work. Okay, and the next thing is the last one, you can see like close. If you click here close, your file will be get closed. Okay, so clicking it, before closing, if you have done any changes, the same thing, it will ask you, do you want to save your changes to book one? I will say yes, means it will ask the location where you want to save this file. I say document desktop. Okay, save, saved. Okay, now I'm closing the whole workbook, it will get closed. Okay, so this is what this video is about. In file tab, like we have seen all these buttons like print, share, export, publish, close. So I hope you all understand like what are these buttons are doing, and in my next video we will see about accounts, feedback and option. These three options we will see in more details in my next video. And I would like to inform you one more thing. If your Excel 2016 is not visible like this, it may have been you may have seen it something different type, like this new open will be seen downside over here and home will not be here. So you just need to update your Microsoft Office. Just click this account and you will see here, and if you click here update, it will get start updating. After updating you will be able to see these options over here. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed my video. So if you like this video, please click on like, subscribe it and share this video. Okay, thank you, bye.